video, I am talking about Love is Blind Brazil Season 3's reunion. So be sure to like and follow, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Let's just get into it. Huge shout out to everyone who has supported and really watched all my videos. Everybody, all my Brazilians, my my international followers, I love you guys, and you have supported me watching Love is Blind Brazil, and you have watched my videos, commented, participated, and actually the comments have been really nice. It's such a great crowd. Love is Blind Brazil is my favorite Love is Blind, so I'm so excited that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. I have a couple shout outs. Shout out to, I hope I say this right, shout out to Cruz 8484 for warning me about Tamara and Allison. Usually I don't like spoilers, but this one, honestly, I appreciate it because I would have been a wreck for the entire reunion show if I hadn't known beforehand that Allison and Tamara broke up. That was really sad. So thank you for warning me about that. Shout out to Zainab 2085 for letting me know that there were actually subtitles, English subtitles on the reunion show, so I could go watch it. Thank you so much for having my back, guys. And shout out to all my viewers, all my commenters, everybody who's enjoying the Love is Blind Brazil content. I love you guys so much. Let's just dive into it because the reunion was a whole production, people. They had a whole thing, kind of like Broadway style, and they did this whole thing. It was really nice, to be honest. Brazil came. They came out, they showed out, and it was perfection. They show a ton of all the previous cast members. One thing I appreciated was that the audience was not only cast members or previous cast members, it was cast members' parents, and honestly, it was a lot of people that had stakes, that were involved in the whole journey with the couples, and I thought that that was a huge thing. Honestly, I thought that that was a huge nod because only people who have experienced this understand what is going on in Love is Blind, and to have the audience members be actual people who were included in the relationship and the journey of the couples, that was huge for me. Like I said, Brazil is doing it right. They know what they're doing, and I'm loving it. So Tamara and Allison, they let us know that they broke up real quick, and that was really sad. They don't go into detail. They said they were going to go into detail later on. They start out with the couples, and they start out with Maria and Mena, who are still together. So 4 couples survived, with only 1 couple not, and we'll get to the couple that didn't, if you guys don't already know. But yeah, Maria and Mena are still together. It looks like their relationship is healthy. It looks like Maria is in a way better place than when they were on the show. I know that the show is a lot of stress, tension, like the whole production of that thing. It has to be a lot on the couples and on the individuals who are going through this stuff. So, and it's also very heavily produced, so I understand that what we see is not 100% of what is actually happening. But Maria's and her mom's relationship needed work, and she does say that they go to therapy and they're in a way better place than they were before. So I was very happy about that. They addressed the Barbara situation, actually bringing Barbara onto the stage to address them, and it looked like they squashed everything. Honestly, it looked like everything was cleared. Out of all the people, all the exes that came on the stage, Barbara was the only one that I thought, yes, it looks like they squashed everything and there was no tension between Barbara, Maria, and Mena anymore. I have to say that I think that Mena is like the best male contestant in all of Love is Blind history, including Japan, which had some actual stellar men, you know, in the cast. Like Japan, Love is Blind Japan, they were so respectful. God, it was such a different culture entirely, and the way that they came at things was just completely different. Love is Blind Brazil has had a bunch of quality men, I'm not gonna lie, with some exceptions, but I think Mena is the best male contestant in Love is Blind history. So we move on to Agatha and Hainan, who are still together as well. They look beautiful. I missed her smile so much. God, they're such a beautiful couple. I really hope that they last. She's just so gorgeous, and he's really handsome too. And they bring on Anna Carolina, who was the girl who lied basically and told Agatha that Hainan said that she was her number one. And instead of her to just come out and say, you know what, I was feeling in my element and I said that, hoping or thinking that that's what it was, she tried to save face and say she didn't lie. Like it was just, she just tried to save face and nobody was buying it. Even Camila was like calling her. I think Camila took it personal because she was a little bit pissed off about Anna Carolina. And I don't blame her. Anna should have just said it like, yeah, honestly, I said it because I wanted him to pick me. So, I mean, just come out and say what it is. It is what it is, right? But anyways, that whole situation, there was no real tension between them anyways. Agatha and Hainan are married and it seems like that's going well for them. They were doing awards throughout the season, throughout the episode, the reunion. They gave out 4 awards. Me Jealous, Golden Wandeko, which is kind of like most charismatic person on the show, Best Howler, you can guess who that went to, and then Most Awkward Moment. So after Agatha and Hainan, they brought on Tamara's dad, who they created the Golden Wandeko in honor of him being such a charismatic character from season 1 and so loved by the internet. He was the one to present the Golden Wandeko to the person who was winning it for this season. I think that Tamara's dad is like the most loved parent in all of Love is Blind history as well. Like this man honestly can do no wrong to me. I love him to death. And I think that he raised a beautiful daughter. It was so sad to see him sad about Allison and Tamara. And I was shedding tears watching him shed tears because I know that the man loved his daughter so much. Loves his daughter so much, and it was just, yeah. But the first award, Me Jealous, went to Agatha for that whole scene where she saw him, Hainan's "I love you" scribbled on the board. That was the one that made her look crazy, and she wasn't in the end. And the second one, the Golden Wandeko, went to Simone, who was Danny's mom, most charismatic. She is honestly, she's pretty awesome. I like her. I really do. I think she dotes on her son a little too much, but not in an obsessive kind of way, not in a Maura kind of way. Does everybody remember the Maura situation? Jeez, what a person. But anyways, so he presented, Tamara's dad presented that award to Simone. Danny was just crying on stage watching them acknowledge his mom and give her this award. He was making it really hard for me to hate him throughout the entire reunion. I'm just gonna say, and by the end of the reunion, there was no reason whatsoever for me to hate Danny anymore. There's nothing that I can say that he has done wrong anymore. But we move on to the next couple, Karen and Valmir, who were the ones who broke up. Apparently, Karen left the house like 2 weeks after they got married. Due to the fact that she claims that it was due to disrespect and the fact that Valmir said that her presence in his house made him uncomfortable. Apparently, Valmir told her to leave 3 days after they got married. So it kind of all went downhill after the wedding. Why they said yes to each other, I still don't know until today. They really were never supposed to date or even marry. Valmir was never supposed to be on this show. He is not the kind of person you should put on a show like Love is Blind. Just saying. Anywho, turns out that Karen and Italo reconnected afterwards and they are currently dating. So good for them. I can't really get excited about this. I was honestly rooting for this situation after episode 1. I think. Yes, after episode 1, I was rooting for this situation, but throughout the episodes, I really found that I don't like Karen either, So I wish Italo well, but whatever, it really doesn't matter to me, whichever way it goes. But I do have to say, Italo showed up and showed out. Like, he called Valmir out on every single thing. It almost seemed like Italo came out in that too tight suit. I don't know if he washed the suit the night before and it shrunk, but whatever happened, that suit was way too tight for him, I'm just saying. But he came out and had a bone to pick with Valmir. Probably hasn't seen him, since the show, so maybe Italo figured that this was his chance to really say what he wanted directly to Valmir, and it was fair and unfair. I know how Valmir was. He wasn't really the best, throughout that whole situation, but I don't know that to call him on live TV was the best option either. Besides, you already got the girl. You won. Just take the win and go. You have nothing to prove. But I still like Italo regardless. And I think Valmir handled himself. Whatever we may think about him, I think he handled himself very well on the live show, probably because it was a live show. So they move on to Danny and Danny, who are still married, and they look as beautiful as ever. This is another couple that I think will have beautiful, gorgeous children if they decide that that's what they want in the future. And they bring out Patricia, who Danny turned down because she talked about sex too openly. And you could just tell this girl had a chip on her shoulder. She was not impressed at all. She didn't want to hear anything that he was saying. But I kind of, honestly, this is where I said, like, there was nothing else for me to complain about Danny anymore, because he took it on a chin like a man, and he accepted responsibility and apologized. I mean, what else can you ask of this man, right? He did everything right. Even if it was for the camera, and I'm not saying that it was, but even if it was, he did everything right. To me, he seemed sincere, to be honest. I didn't really fault him about the sex thing, you know, when he said he wasn't going to go with Patricia because of that, because that was the whole point of them dating different people, is finding out what you want and what you don't want, and that's what he didn't want, and he was honest about it. It might not be the popular opinion, you know. There's definitely going to be a man out there who doesn't care if Patricia talks about sex openly or not, but I just didn't think that it was that big a deal, you know. He chose, and that was it. Take the L, move on, and find the man that is yours, you know. But yeah, I don't think it did anything for her. She seems to want to hold that chip on her shoulder, but it doesn't matter. Danny and Danny are married, so that's the end of that. Also, I noticed that Danny was not really smiling or engaging Valmir, so I don't think that friendship is still there, which honestly I'm okay with, because Danny does not need that in his relationship. Valmir will be a bad influence. Just the truth. I don't like the way Valmir moves. He moves weird, and I just don't appreciate it. So they move on to Bianca and Jabras, who are also still together, and they tell us that they had to go through couples counseling in the past year, because it's been a year since all of them have been married. And they've had to do couples counseling and really, you know, work at their relationship, which I understand and appreciate. Marriage ain't easy, people. Like, you gotta work every day at it. I don't personally think marriage is hard, but it's not easy. If you put the work in, it will work, you know. And I get that this situation is completely different. I had time to, you know, date my husband and we became friends, you know. We were friends before we started dating, and now he's my best friend in the whole wide world. He's the one that I go to for everything, you know. But this is different. You have 3 weeks and then you decide that you're marrying somebody. But again, for me, coming from a culture where I know people are still doing, you know, what's it called, blind marriages, or whatever the term I'm looking for, where you don't even meet the person. Arranged marriages, where they've arranged that you're going to be married from when you were 3. You know, I had schoolmates in high school where one term would end, the next term they wouldn't come to school because they were married off, you know. So for me, it's like, if those marriages can work, the people who had arranged marriages and have been married for 40 years, then why should Love is Blind not work unless you're not sincere about it, right? So that's just how my mindset. So when Love is Blind came up, honestly, it wasn't a crazy thing for me. I'm like, yeah, this is better than what a lot of people have, you know. Some people don't have the choice to talk to their partners before they get married. So why are we complaining because these people get to do it without the obstacle of physical barriers, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know. Bianca and Jabras is what I was talking about before I went on my tangent. They're still together, still happy. They said that they had a lot of difficulties, you know, moving in together, they had a lot of help from outside, inside, and they're still together. I don't know what the future holds for all these couples, honestly, because turns out that in all the season 1, everybody broke up. The only people who are together were Mark and Nanda, who were not originally coupled up. Nanda left Tiago and then recoupled with Mark, you know. And season 2, everybody's done. Like, the only people who got married are all divorced right now. Alison and Tamara were holding it down for that group, but that's done. So it's been 0 for 0 now, you know. So these 4 couples are holding it down for Brazil. They seem steady enough now, and we don't know, because everybody seems steady at the reunion, you know. And then things roll out and it's not the same. So I'm just praying, because I actually really do. I've liked all of them, but I actually really do want these couples to stay together and just hold it down, man. Like, just figure it out and work it out, because I like them. I really do like them. The show ended with Italo actually proposing to Karen and them having their Love is Blind moment, which I thought it was okay. You know, I like that they got their moment finally, and I think they all deserve that. But for me, I just thought that it's Karen. I'm not really invested. You know, I wish her well. I wish Italo very well. I really do like Italo, but I just like, okay, I'm happy for you guys, but really that doesn't do anything for me. But overall, honestly, love it. If this show gets cancelled, I'm gonna have a problem with it, because this is the lifeline for Love is Blind for me. There's another season of US coming out next week, actually, on the 14th, I think. And for me now, US is just a caricature. It's like watching Love Island or Temptation Island right now, because none of them are genuine. None of them. Even the previews, the man himself, I was like, to me, he didn't look like he really wanted to be there or really wanted to get married at this point in time. I'm just saying, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Love is Blind US is a fun plaything for me now. I don't take it seriously at all anymore. But Love is Blind Brazil is my OG. And I hold them in my heart because I have enjoyed every single season. I've enjoyed the culture, the respect, the nature in which they interact with each other. I just love it. And the language is so soothing. Portuguese, oh, it's so beautiful. So yeah, for me, it's been a good time, and I hope that it keeps going. I hope they keep giving us, you know, good seasons with quality men and women, because we need those qualities to be rolling out the door. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the reunion. I know it was a long time coming, but I'm hoping that you guys don't mind the wait. And I really appreciate the love on these videos. I really, really do. Thank you so much for your love and support. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!